Hello, you are watching the demo that will take place during the 2024 RTC conference at Illinois Tech. This is for the NLP session that I will be giving on Tuesday. The first thing I want to cover in the session, we talked about creating two different models. The first model is a basic question model. So that is to say that when we present a sentence to this model, the model will be able to tell us whether the sentence is a question or if it's not, like just a regular sentence. And the second model is a named entity recognition model. So that is to say that when we provide a sentence to this model, it will tell us kind of like if there are any entity types within that model. So for example, if we were to say like Redmonton, which is a city in Washington, it will come up as a location. So right now we're going to do just a basic demonstration of both of those models, just to show the kind of complexity there are with both of these models. So this is, you're looking at the code for the question model, and I'm going to skip over that. It's, all the code is commented, so you can definitely go and read through it on your own. But the most important part of this is we train the model to detect whether or not they are these sentences, right? These test sentences here are questions or regular sentences. And now you can see some of them are pretty obvious, like, is this an example sentence? So that should hopefully come back as true. And then you have another obvious one, my name is John Doe, right? That's a statement, that's not a question, right? Now you get into some very interesting ones like, how are you doing, my friend? And the reason why this one is here is because it doesn't end in a question mark. So you need to have the model be smart enough to recognize these things. In an ideal world, right, we would just look for a question mark at the end of every sentence and be able to say, oh, this is obviously a question. But because humans are flawed in the way where, we don't always put punctuations at the end of sentences, right, including question marks, you can see here that how are you doing, my friend, without a question mark should come back as a question. Also, the last sentence is actually kind of quite interesting as well. So it says, tell me about the history of the United States, right? Now, this is a question, right? Because it's eliciting a response from the other side, the person that you're talking to. But it doesn't start with a who, what, when, where, why, how kind of beginning, right? That we typically associate with a question. So this should also hopefully come back as true as well. So let's go ahead and run this example. And I'm just going to start the example here. And you can see here, the first sentence is this an example sentence? And it is a question. Then my name is John Doe is not a question, right? How are you doing, my friend, without the question mark? It recognizes as a question. I love to eat pizza because the toppings are delicious, not a question. Tell me about the history of the United States. And that is correctly coming back as a question. So even though this model is incredibly simple, it's actually quite complex because you have things like, you have questions that don't typically start with the who, what, when, where, and why, and how. And then you also have things where the punctuation's missing at the end of sentences. And there are other more complex situations, but this is definitely one of them. Now let's take a look at named entity recognition. And the same goes with this one. This code is pretty well commented, but we're going to go down to the bottom here, right? We've already trained our model. We basically have an example sentence here. Microsoft is based in the United States of America. And we're going to run this through our named entity detection, and we should get back a response with all of the named entities contained within that sentence. So let's go ahead and run that right now. So you can see here, we have the detected entities. You can see the sentence, Microsoft is based in the United States of America, period. And you can see that Microsoft is recognized as an organization, right? And the B minus prefix denotes that it's the beginning of this entity, right? And when you get to the United States of America, that is one complete entity, right? It's not just United is a location, right? It's the United States of America. And so that's why you see this B hyphen I. So this B location, which is correct, it is a location, but the others need to be denoted with the I, which is effectively just saying this is a continuation of starting with this B tag, right? So it's the United States of America. And so this is correctly identifying all of the entities contained within this sentence. Now let's take a look at the final demo and where we bring all these models together and we use them in a unique and creative way. So in the idea of this demo, what we're going to do is we're going to take each of that question model, that entity model, we're going to put a REST API in front of it so we can query it. So we only need to load the model once. and be able to reuse it over and over again. The demo app we have here, it is going to be a speech to text, a ChatGPT text to speech. So that is to say that I'm going to be able to talk to ChatGPT. What this demo application is going to do, it's going to be listening to the things that I'm saying. So I'm going to say a few sentences. It's going to repeatedly, for every sentence that I say, it's going to ask if that's a question. If it's not a question, it's just going to call get named entity, and it's going to return all of the entities that contains in that sentence. And it is also going to take all of the entities discovered in that sentence and query ChatGPT and basically to get two pieces of information about that particular entity. Kind of the idea is it's like, I don't know what that entity is. Can you tell me a little more information about that entity? This could be in a virtual meeting. It could be through a DM. It could be something that appears in your window. This is kind of give you the more context for what these named entities are, right? You'll see in a little bit. Now, if the sentence I'm asking is a question, then ChatGPT is going to take a response. It's going to create a response and answer my question, and it's going to do that in speech. So it's going to take the text that it generates, it's going to pass it through DeepGram's text-to-speech engine, and it's going to play the response right out through my speakers. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the demo here. I live in Long Beach, California. Where is Microsoft headquartered?
Microsoft is headquartered in Redmond, Washington, USA.
Cool. So there you go. Very simple demo. Here you can see that this is a fairly simple one. I live in Long Beach, California. It identified Long Beach, gave you a little information about it. Also detected California, also a location, gave you a little information about it. Then I said, where is Microsoft headquartered? And from there, it grabbed that recognized Microsoft as an organization, identified Redmond as a location, and also discovered USA as a location. So I hope you enjoyed the demo here. And if you are interested in learning more about this, please take a look at the repo, the slides, and all the code that's within GitHub. Thanks a lot for watching.